raise your hand. If you would, ma'am, please state and spell your name for the record.
Sure, it's Kathleen Goff, Kathleen-Gough.
She's with you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Goff, I'm going to remind you of your testimony yesterday about the emails that you provided to the state. And, Your Honor, just for the court's permission, I've already shown these exhibit numbers to defense counsel.
You may.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm going to hand you what has been marked as 21st
Yes,
exhibit number, State's Exhibit 27.
All right.
Can you read for me, please, the bottom email, the first of that email chain? Who sent the first email in this email chain?
Mr. Newman sent the email to Ms. Sneiderman.
And what was the date again?
Sunday, July the 25th.
Sunday, July the 25th. What's the content of that email? Can you read it for us, please?
Sure. Sent you a couple of things in your personal email. Don't know if you have BIT linked to your BlackBerry. And
is there any response from Ms. Sneiderman on the 25th?
there is.
And what is the response?
Yes, I got them all. I hope you're doing well. Not too tired from an early a.m. wake-up, I hope. Relax today.
Is there any response from Mr. Newman?
Yes.
What's Mr. Newman's response?
Exhausted, you're in my every thought.
And I'm writing it here. I just want to make sure you're in my every thought.
Correct.
Any response to that email?
Yes. Try to get some rest. Please enjoy the day.
Ms. Goff, I'm going to hand you State's Exhibit number 28 for purposes of the record. It's based on page 6404.
6404, thank you.
May I approach the witness?
You may.
Thank you. What is Exhibit 28?
It is an email from Ms. Sneiderman to Mr. Newman.
And what's the date of that email?
Monday, July the 26th.
Can you read the content of the first email in that email chain?
The content is, there's a subject line. It says, got your text, poor reception in office, when, and then there's what we call a signature block underneath that.
Counsel, if you could, don't block the face of the witness so the jurors can see the witness. If you're correct on the first time, if you could stay to my right, their left, and it's going to end, and you can position it where they can see it on the end.
Yes, sir.
But I always want the jurors ready to see the witness as she's speaking, okay?
Okay, and the screen behind her. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Anytime. Glad I could be of help.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Can you read the next, the first email exchange? I'm sorry.
The email exchange, it starts with a subject line. It says, got your text, poor reception in office, when, and then the remainder of it is what we call a signature block, which is name, contact information, what have you.
Can you tell if there was any response from Ms. Sneiderman to Mr. Newman's email of Monday, July 26th?
There was. When you can do it, I'm open for the rest of the day. I can come to you or we can meet somewhere also.
Is that, who's that from?
That is from Ms. Sneiderman to Mr. Newman.
Okay. Open for the rest of the day. Is there any further communication on State's Exhibit number 28?
Yes. Mr. Newman responds, I'll come to you where in about 20 to 25 minutes.
Any response after that?
Yes, Ms. Sneiderman responds, Renaissance Waverly behind the Galleria, make a left at the Galleria Parkway, go around, park in the lots that say hotel parking and come in. Text me when you get here.
Your Honor, at this time, with the court's permission, I'd like to play a clip that's been identified as clip 4-1.
401, you may.
Once you get back from Long to meet the defendant at hotels in Atlanta.
I never met the defendant at a hotel in Atlanta.
May I approach, Judge?
You may.
Judge, this is 4909.
Thank you.
Show you State's Exhibit. Can you identify that for me, ma'am? It's number 16.
Oh yeah, I was in training at the Renaissance Galleria. I was in a week-long training class that GE requires. And we were going to lunch to talk about projects that day, and I had a big project I had to work on for this training that he was helping me with. And so, yes, but the way you're stating it is incorrect.
Okay, but you met him at a hotel in Atlanta.
I was at that hotel for training
Okay.
during the day. This is meeting him during the day outside, it says, in the parking lot. Outside the parking lot.
Yeah, but it says lots, park in the lots that say hotel parking and come in. Text me when you get here. It's not I'm just meeting in the parking lot, correct?
But, yeah, the training was on the first floor in the room there,
I understand.
okay? I'm not sure what the question is.
The question is that you had told him to come there and come inside.
Yeah, to meet me inside because I thought that's the way we were gonna meet and talk and have lunch.
But what time is that email sent?
4:42.
In the
PM.
afternoon.
Yeah, in the afternoon.
So we're going to have lunch at about 5 o'clock?
I didn't say, there were many days that week that we met at this hotel while I was in training. I went home this evening,
Okay.
as I did every night.
Yeah, page 6258.
6258,
So may I push them?
you may. And that's number 30, thank you.
Do you recognize State's Exhibit number 30, or can you identify what State's Exhibit number 30 is?
It is an email from Mr. Newman to Ms. Sneiderman,
And what's the date of that email?
August the 26th, 2010.
Is there a subject line for that email?
There is.
What's the subject line?
Picking you up at 12:15 to 12:30.
You told me August 26th?
Correct.
Okay. Can you read the content of the email, the first email of that exchange, Mr. Newman to the defendant?
There's only one email on this one, or just one exchange. It says, I'm looking forward to our trip today. I've had a lot of time to think, and it's been good. I made a list of the things that I loved and that I hated about the past week, things related to you, me, us, my relationship with Riley, my kids, etc. I'd like for you to think about it as well if you can, and for us to share that. If you have other thoughts or ideas or what you want to do something different, that is also fine. See you soon, Hemi.
And Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to play another clip identified as 4-2.
4-2, you may.
On August 26, 2010, did you and the defendant actually take a trip to Greenville, South Carolina?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, who made that reservation?
I don't know.
Okay.
Me, I guess. I mean, usually,
How did you get to Greenville?
we drive.
Okay.
He drove his car that time.
You remember what time he picked you up?
Probably about, no, some time in the morning, or mid-morning, I don't remember. I know I didn't. I think I even got to take the kids to school that day. Okay.
No, I mean, do
Yeah,
you remember? You may not. I'm just asking if you remember.
I don't remember. I mean,
Okay.
these are old emails, but now that I sit here and I see it, I can remember, I guess, receiving this email.
Is that the defendant's email address, ma'am?
Yep,
And is that your email address?
yep.
Okay. Now, on your way to Greenville that day,
Yeah.
did you and the defendant stop and have lunch?
I remember stopping. I don't remember if it was lunch or if it was for a meal, but I remember stopping. I don't remember what the plan was for that day. I'm sure we did.
And Your Honor, with your permission, I'd like to play one more clip that identified as 4-3.
4-3, you may.
Did you have adjoining rooms when you got to Greenville? Do you remember?
Yes, I believe they were.
Okay.
And
is an email from Ms. Sneiderman to Mr. Newman,
And what's the date of that email?
Friday the 27th, 2010,
Friday the 27th of what month?
of August.
Is there a subject line?
There is.
What's the subject line?
It's Ari, I'm sorry. I caused you so much pain when all I wanted was to give you so much. I know it doesn't help thinking. I am also feeling that we may have ruined it. Not sure. I am trying to be I'm not trying to be hurtful. I'm just being honest. I am not sure how to live with this.
Is there any further correspondence on State's Exhibit number 31?
No.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'd like to play an additional clip
You may.
identified as 4-4.
4-4, you may continue.
Thank you.
Now, when you left Greenville the next morning, let me rephrase that, how many days did you stay in Greenville?
Just overnight,
Okay.
at early morning meetings the
Now-
next day.
Do you remember sending an email, an angry email to the defendant that next day?
I don't remember the actual contents of the email.
May I approach, Judge?
You may.
Judge, this is stipulation 4949, and I believe we've got it connected, but it's 4953 as well.
4953.
The pages, yes,
Yes,
Judge.
sir.
I show you as March State's Exhibit number 21. Can you identify that for me, please?
Okay.
Do you recognize that email, man?
Yeah.
Okay, now, first page.
Right, this is the one that was read during opening arguments.
Yes, ma'am, we're going to go back through it again.
Great.
Ma'am, I'm going to read the part that is listed for Hemi, and I'm going to ask you to read the part that you sent. This is dated August 27, 2010, correct?
Yep.
And that's your email address?
Yes.
And the defendant's?
Yes.
And Hemi writes, I caused you so much pain when all I wanted was to give you so much. I know it doesn't help, but I am sorry. I shouldn't have come over. You are so beautiful, such a great person. And in the conversation about Addie, I discovered the mature, responsible mama, Andrea. Don't respond. And how did you respond?
You want me to read my response?
Please.
I really don't know what to say at this point. I am angry. Your apology is heartfelt, but does not make the ongoing pain go away that I now have to repent and live with for the rest of my life. Not sure what I was thinking. I'm also feeling that we may have ruined, I don't know what that says, may have ruined it, not sure. I'm not trying to be hurtful. I'm just trying to be honest. I'm not sure how to live with this. I remember that evening at dinner, we walked out of that dinner like best buddies. That whole dinner was a masterful manipulation.
Okay, I turn to the second page of that email.
Yep.
Hemi Newman says, this is the last one for me. I know it won't help, but please never forget how much I love you.
Uh-huh.
And how did you respond?
I know, but so do other people. I betrayed them all. I'm not sure how to deal with that for now, but my burden, not yours.
What happened in Greenville, man?
We were holding each other's hands, and that's it. It may sound worse than it is, but to me, that was a betrayal.
So you're repenting in the email, at least, from holding his hand.
Yep.
Ms. Scott, I'm going to hand you,
I'm always horrible at that, so what, 11?
does that sound like
38?
close to 11
Yeah.
o'clock? Almost
About 11:30, 11:38.
22?
It's 23:38. Yeah,
Can you read the content of that email that was sent
sure.
on August 27th?
I fully understand, and I know nothing I say now will help. One, I will continue to be the best boss you have or will ever have. Today's 1/1, and plant tour were an indication that we can keep it pleasantly professional. Two, I don't have to go to England, but if you think that it is good that I go for work reasons, then I will. We can have fun as colleagues, but that will be all. Parenthetical, ... It is a night flight, and there are movies, so it won't be too long, ... parenthetical. We don't need to decide now, but I want to make sure that you don't have any stress just thinking about it. Never stop laughing, loving life, and believing in you. Hemi.
Is there any response to that email?
There is.
And who responds?
It's Ms. Sneiderman.
Okay, and what time does she respond and what day?
11:50 p.m. on August the 27th, 2010.
Okay, so that's the same date as the email you just read?
Correct.
Okay, and what was Ms. Snyderman's response?
Okay, I agree on all the work points, and yes, that will be fine, I hope. I will just harbor feelings of anger and regret for an unknown period of time, and I do not know how that will come out during our, quote, normal, unquote, friendship. I am fearful that we can now never have that, and maybe that is okay and better for both of us in the long run.
Is there any further email communication between the two on State's Exhibit number 32?
There is. Mr. Newman responds.
What does Mr. Newman respond?
This is the last one from me. I know it won't help, but please never forget how much I love you.
What time is that email sent?
That is at 11:16 on Saturday the 28th in the morning.
11:16 in the morning on Saturday the 28th?
Correct.
And what was the last portion of that email, the last phrase?
I know it won't help, but please never forget how much I love you.
Is there any response to that email?
There is.
What's the response?
I know, but so do other people, and I have betrayed them all, and I'm not sure how to deal with that now. My burden, not yours at this point.
Any further communication on State's Exhibit number 32?
No.
Thank you. If I might approach the witness room?
You may.
I'm handing you what has been marked as State's Exhibit number 33, and for purposes of the record, is date stamp page 6429. And Ms. Gaw, I'm going to ask you, does that look to be a separate thread stemming from the same communication of what we just discussed on State's Exhibit number 32?
Yes, it does.
It looks like Mr. Newman responded once to one of Mrs. Snyderman's emails and then a separate time to the same email, creating two different email strings.
That's what it
Is that what it
appears.
looks like? Okay. So I'm going to direct your attention to the middle of the page, and where I've just pointed, can you tell me, is that an email that was sent between Mr. Newman and the defendant?
Yes, it was.
And what was the date of that email?
Sunday, August 29th,
And what was the time?
1:32:48.
Okay, and who's that email communication from?
It is from Mr. Newman,
Okay, and is it, it's to whom?
Ms. Sneiderman.
Okay. And is there a subject line to that email?
There is.
Okay, what's the subject line?
One last thought.
Okay. And can you read the content of that email for us, please?
Yes, it says, besides the birth of Tom and Lee, that was the most beautiful, most wonderful experience of my life. And I am sure, as with you, today is the saddest day. Hemi.
Is there any response to that email on August 29th?
There is.
What's the response from Ms. Snyderman to that email?
I appreciate that you at least understand what I am feeling, but I am having constant feelings of anger towards you, me, everything. Yes, it is mixed with some other feelings as well, but those are selfish feelings that I am trying to suppress at every moment. I guess one of the worst things is that Thursday night was one of the best nights / dinners out I have had in a very long time. It was such a great evening as a whole, and now I do feel sad that I will never have that again. So many other things to say, none are appropriate for email, and most result in me getting very angry, so I will stop now.
Is there any further communication
Not on
on
this.
that email?
No.
Your Honor, may I push the...
You may.
Ms. Goff, I'm going to hand you what has been marked as State's Exhibit number 34. And for purposes of the record, it's page 6432.
Okay.
Ms. Goff, what is State's Exhibit number 34?
It is an email from Ms. Sneiderman to Mr. Newman.
And at the bottom of that page, does that indicate, it's an email string, there are several communications back and forth?
Correct.
What is the first, I mean the one at the farthest to the bottom, what is the date and time of that
It is August the 29th, 2010, at 7:46 p.m.
Okay, and who was it that initiated that email?
Mr. Sneiderman, or Mr. Newman.
And who did he send it to?
It appears to, it doesn't say specifically on here who it was to.
You're right, I'm sorry. Who's the communication string between?
It is between Mr. Newman and Ms. Sneiderman.
And can you read the content of that first email, please?
I can. Marry me. You're thinking I'm crazy, and you've made your intentions clear, but before you respond, just spend the night thinking about it. It won't solve everything, but you know I will give you, Sophia and Ian the world, and that together we can make it all work. Marry me. Hemi.
And the date on that is the 29th
Correct.
of August 2010?
Correct.
Okay, what's the response, if any, from Ms. Sneiderman to that email?
There's no response to that email.
What's the next communication?
It is again from Mr. Newman and Ms. Sneiderman,
Okay.
and that is Sunday, August 29th. I know you will shut me out if I try to walk to you, but it is important that you hear this. May be inappropriate for email, but this is what we have. The betrayal and anger is not about what you, parenthetical, we did. That's a cop-out. It's about how you felt and what you wanted. How you felt when we looked at the stars in Tahoe, when we woke up Friday morning in Denver, when we walked out of the restaurant on Thursday, when you took my hand and nestled your head in my shoulder. Blaming it all on Friday morning doesn't cut it. You keep trying to suppress thinking what it would be to make Friday dinner together, to share a mahjong night with friends, or watch a movie in bed. That I know how to make you and Sophia happy, even though I've never met her. You can't stop thinking about it, but you are so locked in that it will not fail that it tears you apart. It's a betrayal not to those you love, as you stated, but to yourself, and it happened way before Friday morning. And it scares the crap out of you because you don't know how to deal with it, and so you keep trying not to deal with it, to suppress it. But it was there before I arrived, and now you found it, and it won't go away. And yes, it will be there forever. And in your heart, you know that angers you more than anything else because you can't control it. Or I know more than any time ever that it is you that I want to share everything with, and you are pained because also what you want to think you can't. Think about it. Be with me forever, Hemi.
Is there any response to that email from Mrs. Sneiderman?
There is.
What's that response?
We need to talk in person somehow. Oh, need to say what I need to say in person, even though I do not want to.
What's the date on that response from Ms. Sneiderman?
Monday the 30th.
And what time?
I'm sorry, you said Monday the 30th, what now?
Monday, August 30th,
Go ahead.
And what time does the defendant respond?
7:33 a.m.